I had the great pleasure to get a chance to interview a Son Thomsen of Sonokinetic. He took some time out of his busy schedule to speak with me from his flat in London. Got a chance to talk to him about how they've built some of the Sonokinetic libraries, as well as what the future holds for the developer. So, first of all, thank you so much for taking some time. I really appreciate you taking. I know you stay very busy.
Yes.
You guys have been very proficient. I know that for quite a while in the beginning, you were releasing libraries almost every month, weren't you?
True. Yes. We did a lot more of like the smaller libraries then as well. Mm-hmm. So lately, our focus has been more on the bigger orchestral libraries, and it's just not that easy to chuck them out in the same tempo. So.
Is there one that sticks out for you, either really enjoyed creating or that actually you use yourself?
There are so many memories, about development, and for instance, I really loved the trips we did to Istanbul for some of the Eastern libraries, for instance, Sultan drums. The sessions were so cool. That percussionist was amazing. Everything he did was just perfect. Well, of course, the orchestral ones, because the first one we did, Tutti, going over there to Czech Republic and then have the whole orchestra there in the hall and playing that stuff. It was amazing. It was such a huge experience. And then after that we did 8, 9 more orchestral ones. So each of those has been an amazing experience. I think the one I'm most happy with at the moment is Sotto, because I really love that understated soft side of the orchestra.
One thing that I really am excited about is the way that you guys have been pushing the envelope with the phrases and the ability to make the music your own, even though it's a phrase library. How did you guys stumble into that? I know you developed Tutti and then took it further with Vivace, right?
Yes. It's an evolution, When we did Tutti, we were like, this is great. This atonal stuff, it's so usable. How great would it be if we had that, but also like a tonal element to it? If we had something like what became Vivace, which is tonal, and we recorded in all these keys. Would be so cool. So then we did that, and then every iteration after that was solving like user issues that we had ourselves with it, that we thought, what if you could do this, that would and then we came to minimal, which was one step further. And so we kept on going until now with the woodwinds ensembles, it's single notes. So basically we're going from everything together, and we're just zooming in on the individual parts. After this we're going to do soloists, of course.
Oh, fantastic.
But
yeah,
first,
I was going to ask about that later.
Yeah, first we have to complete the orchestra though, which is a major task still to be done.
Yes. Well, that's very exciting. Those were all things I was interested in asking, if you were going to fill out the rest of the orchestra with the new multi-sampled engine that you guys have developed.
Sure. Yeah, from when we started this, the whole goal was eventually to be able to create, everything you want, complete stuff with using just Sonokinetic instruments.
Since we know you're developing the rest of the orchestra with I'm hoping with the key switching engine that you guys have developed.
Yes.
That's
also one of the reasons that this took so long. The development of the woodwinds is because we made it in a way that it's very modular. So it's a very modular engine that we can slot the other instruments in, and most of the scripting work is done. We can use that, and it's very adaptable.
I mean, I was very pleased with the sound, and I was blown away by the new key switching system. It's so logical. I'm not sure why no one invented it years ago. Just having the key switch, I can't remember do you call them modules or do you call it banks? You call them banks, don't you?
Yeah.
Yes.
So we have the group key switches and then the articulation key switches.
Yes.
Which work together. Yeah. A lot of thought went into that.
I can imagine. It's called reinventing the wheel, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. The only thing that I had when I reviewed the library, I really would have loved to have a piccolo and a bass clarinet.
Well, they will be added, of course, for the solo instruments.
Okay.
Because that was the thing, we were going to do ensembles, and then we thought, how are we going to approach this? Because there are different, ways of doing ensembles, of course. You can go with what's normal to have in your orchestra, or we went a little bit bigger, because to get a good blend from two instruments is hard. The perfect way to get a good blend is to have three instruments, at least, because otherwise you will hear the two players. So we went with the three players for each section, and then we were like, should we add these other things? And if we did, that again would have meant, doubling the recording time. Or
what's been one of the more challenging products that you've developed as far as the libraries go? Because it sounds like there's already so many obstacles. You guys are just figuring out how to develop.
We had some. Actually, we always say with each release, the next one is going to be easier, and then it isn't, because we find something else that we want to do, and we're always pushing the limit. So we've had problems with most of them, and like when we were doing Woodwinds, Ken and I were talking, and we were like, oh, this is the worst we did, or I think I said that to Ken, and he was like, oh, you forgot about Da Capo already, So I remember we were doing that, and we were like, this is never going to work. And then I remember we got a demo in from a very early alpha version of it, and that demo sounded so good. It was like, are you sure this is not, something we recorded for Vivace in one go? And so, and that gave us hope, and then then we could finish the instrument, because I think we had the release date set for a month later.
I mentioned that I heard some of your jazz improv stuff, which I really enjoyed. Is there another developer's library or a virtual piano or anything out there that you have kind of a bond with that you really like?
Actually, the one I use, let me see what it's called. It's called True Pianos, and it's a really cheap thing. Do you know it?
No, I do not.
It's good value. I think it's $100 or something. It's
okay.
Tiny. It's like 24 megabytes or something. So it's really tiny, because I kept it on my laptop. So I always had a piano to play, and because it's modeled, it's very direct. There's no latency. And another developer I'm really a fan of. What they're doing is Isotope. The Isotope, the RX suite for saving recordings and that kind of stuff. It's amazing. It's incredible what they do. It's like you can just paint on your music and erase stuff and you don't hear it.
The last question I had, you almost already answered, but it was about what the future holds, what libraries you'll be developing next.
Oh yeah, I think I pretty much laid out the road plan for you, right?
Yeah.
But
thank you so much for taking some time. I really appreciate it, and I know many other composers and enthusiasts will get a lot out of hearing some of your insights. So thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yes.
It's been a joy.
Be sure and check out the reviews we've done here of Sonokinetics Capriccio, Sonokinetics Woodwinds Ensembles, and I should have a new review of a Sonokinetic Soto coming out just days after this interview is posted.